Hi, my name's Jenny. I'm doing my project on fat. In order to discuss this, it's important to distinguish between the different types of fat. So we have saturated, unsaturated, and trans fats. Most fats and oils contain both saturated and unsaturated fats in different proportions. Saturated fats can be found in animal products like beef, pork, high fat dairy foods like butter, margarine, cream, certain cheeses, as well as fast foods and processed foods, and some baked foods like pizza, desserts, also hamburgers, cookies, and pastries. Monounsaturated fats are one of the two types of unsaturated fats. They can be found in avocados, peanut butter, nuts like almonds, hazelnuts, cashews, pecans, as well as seeds like pumpkin seeds, sesame, and sunflower, and plant oils like olive oil, peanut oil, safflower, sesame, and canola oils. The other type of unsaturated fats is polyunsaturated fats. These contain omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Um, they're often found in fishes like salmon, mackerel, herring, and trout. Also, nuts like walnuts, flax seeds, and sunflower seeds. Plant-based oils like soybean, corn, and safflower oils are also sources of polyunsaturated fats. Why is this important? All types of fat are high in energy. A gram of fat, whether saturated or unsaturated, provides 9 calories of energy compared to 4 calories that you would find in protein and carbohydrates. A certain amount of fat is necessary for a balanced diet. Fat is a source of essential fatty acids, which the body does not make on its own. Fat helps the body to absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, A, K, and E. Uh, they need fat in order to be properly absorbed because they are fat soluble. Fat is also important for fueling aerobic exercise. Fat is essential to exercising for and at low to moderate intensity. Since it's excellent fuel for endurance exercise like cycling, swimming, rock climbing, as you're burning fat, you're also releasing stored glucose reserves, which allows you to produce more energy for longer periods of time. How does fat impact our health? One way that fat impacts our health is shown by studies that investigated the effects of monounsaturated fats, um, fat-rich diets on immune function. So diets rich in these monounsaturated fats, particularly high in olive oil, were shown to change the fatty acid composition of lymphocytes or white blood cells in order to increase their proliferation. White blood cell proliferation is necessary for effective immune system responses. Consuming these monounsaturated fats has also been linked with lower prevalence of atherosclerosis, which is the buildup of fats and cholesterol on artery walls. This inhibits and may even block blood flow, and these blockages, whether complete or not, can cause heart attacks, strokes, vascular dementia, and even limb loss. The immune system can be negatively impaired when fat stores in the body are too low. I think a lot of people talk about how, high fat can be bad for the body as well. But it's also important to mention how fat is actually beneficial and important. So, negatively having less stores of fat can reduce the ability to fight infections, which can include increased risk of sickness, decreases in estrogen levels, even, and decreased bone mass later in life. How does fat impact body composition? So, research has shown that overeating saturated fatty acids promotes greater visceral fat storage than overeating unsaturated fatty acids. Visceral fat is stored deep inside the belly and is wrapped around our organs. Visceral fat is correlated with insulin resistance, increased visceral adipose tissue. Stored fat is associated with metabolic disorders. Whereas subcutaneous adipose tissue, otherwise known as body fat under the skin, is viewed as less detrimental. So this visceral fat can raise your risk for serious medical issues. How does it affect other parts of our lives? So the amount and the quality of fat in our diets is important for insulin's insulin, essentially. And the development of insulin's resistance can lead to related metabolic disorders, as I'd mentioned. So insulin sensitivity was impaired on a saturated fatty acid diet in the Conwu study, which was a randomized controlled trial where healthy subjects had their fat intake controlled for 3 months. In this study, it showed that insulin sensitivity didn't change on the monounsaturated fatty acid diet. So this has long-term implications for the development of type 2 diabetes. Um, in type 2 diabetes, cells lose their sensitivity to insulin, according to the National Institute of Public Health. In a study done by the American Diabetes Association, participants reported that diabetes impacted their lives in so many ways that you might not think about. Some of the most frequently reported impacts of diabetes included challenges with planning for the future, feeling incapable of taking on life's challenges, struggling with self-confidence, struggling with relationships, and succeeding at work and school, and even challenges with dating. So, one last thing about fat is that any fat that isn't used by your body's cells or turned into energy is converted into body fat. So it acts as an insulator and protector of organs, as approximately 50% of all fat deposits are in and around organs, according to a UC Davis Health article. Having excess body fat can have negative implications for athletic performance, as additional loads get placed on joints, causing stress. A heavier person will also consume more energy per minute of work, resulting in lower energy during the activity. So based on this, sorry that this video is longer than requested, but fat impacts our lives in a variety of ways, and I learned a lot doing this project. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to listening to your videos as well.